What's up, everybody? King of Fomo coming at you with your daily crypto update. This is going to be a live video, short little live stream on Pulsechain. Pulsechain is officially here. Pulsechain's bridge is officially here. And I wanted to talk about it a little bit and give you guys sort of my unbiased opinion on Pulsechain, the bridge, and kind of what to expect in the future, and just also some strategies. So people were asking me some questions on Patreon, so I wanted to clear up some questions that people have. Pretty simple stuff here with the Pulsechain bridge. So the reason why I'm saying unbiased opinion is because there's a lot of other, streamers, YouTubers, Twitter people out there that are just straight up hexicans, hardcore into Hex and Pulse since day one, just, exclusively talking about Hex for a long time. And those people are good and well, but I do think it's helpful to have sort of an unbiased opinion to look at both the positives and the potential negatives of this thing as well. So that's what I'm going to try and do for you. I do have some questions about the Pulsechain itself, the bridge, and kind of how it all works. Other people might know the answers to this. They might seem like dumb questions, so I'm sort of just I'm one of you guys. I'm one of you guys kind of learning about Pulsechain as we go here. And yeah, some questions and concerns, we'll talk about those too. But it looks like it's working out pretty well right now. So we got a lot of links to check out. Let's go ahead and take a look at this right here. This is the bridge. If you guys want to find the bridge, all the links are going to be on the Pulsechain main website. So that's why I don't really like putting links in the description, because you guys need to practice finding them yourselves and not getting scammed. But you can find a lot of the stuff on the Pulsechain website. And right here, it's the Pulsechain bridge, so you can just simply bridge between Pulsechain and Ethereum. So just to show you guys how it works, this is going from Pulsechain to Ethereum. I can click on this. These are all the assets they added. I think you can obviously add more custom tokens if you don't like these, or if you want to bridge some other ones over. But things like PulseX, Wrapped Pulse, Ethereum, DAI, USDT, USDC, the stable coins, and Hex are the main ones, and they just added some extra ones here, more stable coins, Uniswap, Chainlink, and a few others as well. So that's going from Pulsechain to Ethereum, and of course we can go ahead and switch sides here and look at the Ethereum to Pulsechain side, and same deal here. You can finally move your Ethereum, your Hex, etc. over to Pulsechain. Good stuff right there. Some other key links that we can take a look at here is how much is actually in the bridge. So this is something that gives you a little bit of insight on, is this thing gaining traction? Are people excited about this? Is it overhyped, underhyped, or just the right amount of hyped? So right now in the bridge, in the past, I guess it's been maybe 8, 9, 10 hours since it's launched, there's about $21 million worth of assets in that bridge. That means people have moved over $21 million from Ethereum to the Hex, or to the Pulsechain network. And we can see that the majority of that is Hex, right? So that I don't really like. I still think that Hex's value is still a giant question mark with the OA address and everything. But nonetheless, that's still quite a bit. That's $8 million worth of Hex that's been bridged over. And also Hex, Ethereum's Hex is still sort of in price discovery right now. With the opening of Pulsechain, there's a huge dump followed by a mini pump, and it's sitting right now at about 0.035 cents. Then you have the rest, which is the important number in my opinion, in mostly stable coins in Ethereum. So about $4 million in DAI, $4 million in USDC, $4 million in wrapped Ethereum, and $1 million in USDT. So I think altogether it's about $13 million in stable coins and actually really backed funds. If you don't really believe in Hex being backed that much, you can't really refute or dispute USDC, DAI, Ethereum, and USDT being backed. So at least we can say that we have at least $12 million in the past 8 or 9, 10 hours in this bridge, which is pretty impressive. Definitely really, really impressive. Some other things that we can look at. This is the Etherscan gas tracker. This is another metric that I like to use to see, are people really interested in this project, or is it just all overhyped? And what you would see here, if lots and lots of people are bridging over, or if lots of people are using the Hex token, is you'd see your top 50 gas guzzlers, Hex would be up here. So here's Zen, and then you have your classics, your Uniswaps, and a few other ones. And let's see, I think this is the Hex. I think this is the address for the Hex bridge. So let's go ahead and scroll up and see here. The hex bridge is 0x1715A, and then if we look over here in the gas fees, 0x1715A. So there it is. It's rank 10 in all of Ethereum for gas guzzlers. So that does give you again another metric of success that this is not something that is very, very small. This is something that, at least today, is pretty huge if the majority of the Ethereum network is being used to bridge over assets into Hex, and the majority of the gas from the Ethereum network is being used to bridge over assets into Hex. So top 10 is not too shabby for sure. Right below Zen, actually, these two are competitors, you might say. So they're kind of really just ruling the Ethereum network when it comes to usage and gas fees. If you want to look at gas fees as a positive thing for the Ethereum network, that's cool stuff right there. So yeah, you can continue to take a look at this number. I might link this in the description because there's actually a lot of links in here that aren't linked to the Pulsechain website that would be helpful for you to bookmark and just for you to sort of use to have your own kind of viewpoint of how Pulsechain's doing overall. Let's see if anybody's in here. I doubt anybody's going to be in here. It's super late. Oh, we got 7 people in here. What's up, Jason? Welcome, Jason. Yeah. So let's keep moving along here and see some other stuff. So yeah, this is so far so good, right? I'm saying I'm trying to give you guys an unbiased opinion. There hasn't been too much negative stuff coming with Pulsechain that we're looking at right here. The launch is seeming to be successful. Now, what we need to see, obviously, it's nice to have. Hold on, let me take a sip of water here. It's nice to have a lot of good success within the first couple hours of launch, first couple days of launch. But that isn't extremely impressive. I mean, you can have most NFTs, most like super popular NFTs, or just anything that just launches, within the first couple hours can easily take the top 10, top 20 spot in the gas guzzlers and then fade off of a cliff. And then, you never see it there again. So fingers crossed that Pulsechain stays as hyped up and as popular as it is, and it continues to be in this top 50 gas guzzlers, continues to be a popular smart contract that people are using to kind of bridge back and forth, and it's not just a couple hour or 1 day, 2 day hype phase type of thing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Hex there and Pulsechain there over the next week, hopefully. So let's move on and see some other things here. This is why I want to do a live stream, because it's a little unorganized and there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to unpack for sure. So this is Dex Screener. Dex Screener, I think, is one of the only decentralized exchange chart makers that is listing Pulsechain right now. So I want to look at just Pulsechain. So right now we have 24-hour transactions is 143,596. That's also pretty impressive. I mean, you can look at your other massive chains like the Binance Smart Chain, sitting at 1 million 24-hour transactions. So it's a brand new chain that is doing quite well when it comes to 24-hour transactions. Obviously, it's not competing with BSC or even things like, let's see what Arbitrum's doing. Yeah, Arbitrum is actually doing just a little bit better than it. Polygon is doing actually worse than it for 24-hour transactions. So yeah, it's up there competing with the big boys. Besides BSC and Ethereum, obviously, your other layer 1, layer 2 chains. It's being some nice competition for that in the 24-hour transactions. And just looking at some volume here, it says the 24-hour volume is $7 million. I'm not sure where they're getting this number from. I'm not sure if these things are actually priced or not. It's hard for me to tell. I can't remember if this is the real price or not. But nonetheless, looking at some number, we'll actually look at the prices when we go to the exchange a little bit later. Some of the important pairs that I like to look at here are the USDC, USDT, and DAI pairs. If those pairs are similar, that's going to give you a little bit of an idea of what the price of Pulse is going to be. So we can sort of look and see that the 3 stablecoins compared to Pulse, the price should be pretty much exactly the same. If the stablecoins are all $1, they should exchange for the same amount of Pulse. And they're not the same, but they're pretty close, right? You're looking at 0.002 cents, or 0.2 cents is the approximate value if you're looking at USDC and DAI. And one thing I want to check, why is USDT so far off? I think USDT is probably one of the least bridged over stablecoins. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Yeah, USDC only has about $960 million worth bridged over. USDC and DAI have about 4 times as much. So that does make sense. It makes sense that the parity for USDT is a little off. So it's about 0.002 cents per Pulse token. So if we go back over to the exchange here, let's go switch back to Pulsechain. And you probably don't want to use USDT to see what your value of your pulse is. Now, this is all super speculario mode, speculation mode, and the reason why is because you're going to need a couple days. And let me mention this now before we continue on with the live stream. There was somebody in my Patreon that said, King of Fomo, can I just, trade my pulse in for USDC, lock in that value, and be good? Please do not do that. You want to keep your pulse, like the only safe, quote unquote, safe assets on Pulsechain right now, in my opinion, are Pulse, PulseX, Hex, and the incentive token. Everything else, I wouldn't really touch it for the next couple days because the slippage is going to be there, the parity is not going to be there, and these stablecoins are not actually stable, right? You got to wait until they're bridged over and everything is working smoothly. So, be patient. I know that you might be looking at this number. So here's me looking at this number. I sacrificed about 10K Ethereum, and I'm looking at $500,000. Ooh, look at that. Ooh wee, not too shabby, King of FOMO. But I'm not going to be trading that over. Number one, I can't because there's not enough liquidity. Number two, even if I could, I'm not entirely sure I would be able to actually bridge that back over to Ethereum and pull that out. So wait a few days until you actually see people doing that. Now, if you want to go super degen high risk mode, that's up to you. You might be able to turn a profit from doing some of those risky trades and getting out of the 4 tokens that I talked about here: Pulse, PulseX, Hex, and Incentive. But that's on you if you decide to do that. So what we can do, like I said, is we probably want to add the, I don't know, can I even add USDC on here? USDC, actually I think I can do it this way. So this is the way that I like to kind of look at Pulsechain. If we go to here, this is, actually let's take a look and see what the highest one is. It's pretty much a tie, but so DAI would be the highest paired, highest bridged stablecoin into Pulsechain. So let's go look at DAI, and this is what you can do. You can go over to Dex Screener here, go down to where it says Pulsechain. We're gonna look at DAI Pulse pair, the DAI Pulse pair, and over here you can click on the Trade on PulseX right here. And I'm just gonna open it up in a new link right here, new tab. Understand, add that, import it, and now if we look at this number, now we're looking at a pretty crazy amount right there. So you're looking at $12 million. Oh no, it's jumping around. Yeah, I think it was becoming more realistic right here. So yeah, this is definitely the more realistic number, and this is, again, it's going to change definitely more so over the next couple days once we start getting to that equilibrium zone for bridged assets over. So yeah, looking at $122,000 from my Pulse right here. Now again, I don't expect to get that. I expect to get a lot less than that too. We'll talk about the reason why in a second. But yeah, you can also look at some other pairings here that might interest you. So let me go back to Pulsechain, and another pairing that people are interested in is the PulseX wrapped Pulse. So if you're interested in that sort of Uniswap type token, a lot of people might be speculating that that's going to do a little bit better. Some people are speculating more about Hex. And this incentive token, I really don't know what that's all about. I just know that it is what it is. It's in the name. It's an incentive for people to kind of farm over on PulseX and add liquidity, so you can get that token. I'm actually doing that right now on my farms. I can take a look and see I have about 5.54 PulseX to be harvested right here for incentive tokens. So cool stuff right there. Let me reload this and see if this is correct. If this is the correct value. It looks like it is. Yeah, so that's something that you can do if you're in the system, because like I said, PulseX is fairly safe, right? You might be gypped a little bit if you're trading Pulse to PulseX, but I don't think you're going to be gypped that much. I think PulseX is sort of reached its realistic price comparison between Pulse. That's just my personal opinion. Some other things we can look at before we kind of sign off here is the Pulse Burn. So this is a good website to see kind of how's Pulse performing in terms of burning. So today, or basically ever since, we have 624 million pulse burned. Now, again, that's a big number, so I like to just try and figure out what is that. What is 624 million pulse, at least at the value right now. Again, this is going to be completely different later. So let's go back here and say 624 million pulse. That'll be approximately $23 million, maybe $23 million. I think that might be way off, actually, because there's no liquidity here. That's not it. So let me break out the calculator and do it the old-fashioned way. Use my old high school math right here. So 624 million pulse tokens, and we're going to multiply that by the price that we're going to see right here on USDC. Or actually, let's do it for DAI on DAI, which is let's just round it to 2. 0.002. 0.002. It actually might be correct. Yeah, $1.2 million is the amount that has been burned in the past. I don't know how long has this thing been out, 48 hours so far, so not too shabby. A lot of movement, a lot of drama with Zen as well, which caused so much to be burned so shortly, but yeah, not too bad. And then for Pulse X, let's see if Pulse X, I don't know if I can get a price prediction for Pulse X. Pulse X. I don't think I want to do this Pulse X price prediction. USDT Pulse X. Here, let's do it this way. PLSX. Pulse X incentive, Pulse X Hex, Pulse X USDT, and yeah, Pulse X USDC. I guess this is probably going to be a little bit correct. Yeah, it's about the same price, right? So Pulse X and Pulse are about the same price right now. Cool stuff. What's happening? Playing with Pulsechain. Got a good NFT project idea. You have a good NFT project idea, Gerald? Are you gonna share your idea, or are you gonna keep it under wraps? We can also talk. I mean, I don't want to get too far off of Pulsechain, but I have been looking at ordinals too. So let's go over to ordinals. We kind of just finished our little chat on Pulsechain anyway. Before I move on to ordinals, let me make sure I don't forget anything about Pulsechain. Some questions that I have. The main question that I have with Pulsechain is, let's go back to this page right here. So you have all these assets being bridged over. You have DAI, USDC, Ethereum, and USDT, and many more being bridged over, which is great. So I'm not sure about this. If you guys know in the chat, let me know. Or if you guys know in the comments section, comment and tell me how dumb I am, so I can figure this out. So the way that Pulsechain works is it doubled all of your coins. So if you have, let me go back here and show you guys. I have some. It'll be easier if I show you on the bridge. Where's my bridge at? Bridge. Yeah, so here I am on Pulsechain. You can see that I had some wrapped Bitcoin and some wrapped Ethereum on the Ethereum network. And then when Pulsechain came out, it copied everything and put it over here. Right? So let's just say I had some USDT. Let's just say I had $10 in USDT. And it copied over my $10 in USDT. So my question is this. When people are bridging over their Ethereum assets, right? Let's go back over to here. When people are bridging over their USDT from Ethereum to Pulse, are they getting back? Are they going to be getting back? Are they going to be getting, like, if I bridge over 50 USDT, is that going to add to this balance right here so that it gives me, instead of 10, I get 60 USDT? Or is it going to give me something completely different? Is it going to give me like EUSDT? So that's my confusion, because if it's the former, if it's going to bridge over and it's going to add on top of my already copied value, that essentially means all of the coins have been doubled, right? All the coins have been doubled. So, so doesn't that also mean, let me take another sip of water here. So if the coins are doubled, does that not also mean that the value of all the coins are halved? So USDT equaling $1, wouldn't that actually equal 50 cents? Because everything has been doubled, right? Because I can I can bridge over my wrapped Bitcoin. I can bridge over 0.0035 wrapped Bitcoin and end up with, if it's giving me the same thing here, 0.007 wrapped Bitcoin. I doubled my wrapped Bitcoin. So the same case is true for all of your stable coins. Let me know. So that's a question that I have, and if that's the case, if that's actually true, then that means the numbers that we're seeing right here are actually 50% higher than they should be. So when I look at my value for exchanging Pulse to DAI, let's do this right here. Pulse to hold on, this is not looking correct. Let me just do it in the calculator again. This is annoying me. Is it too many decimals? Yeah, this slippage is too crazy, so it's not going to give you the correct number. Let's do the math in the calculator again. First, I need to see the amount that I have. Let's make it an even 200 million. So if I have 200 million Pulse tokens, and I'm going to multiply that by the value that we have for Pulse USDC. Right? Let's just do USDC, which is currently, where is it? Oh, we're in the wrong place. Pulse USDC is up here. Pulse USDC, which is currently about, again, 0.00. Let's do 0.0018 since that's where it's at right now. 0.0018 cents. That means I'm looking at $360,000. But again, if that's doubled, then we just divide that by 2, and I'm looking at $180,000 for my Pulse at the current prices. Again, don't get too excited about these prices, guys. I really don't think those prices are going to stick. But for the people asking questions about, if I do some trades now, if that's the case and we do get values of 50% of what they actually are, then this would be a really good idea to trade up right now. But that's degen gambly type of moves. You could get wrecked if you do that, to be honest. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section or in the live stream. Let's see. Pulse is the best scam after your smart contract. Pulse is the best ever scam after your smart contract. I'm not sure if you're joking or not. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people called it a scam before, and I mean, I understand. People were just upset because it took way longer than that guy said it was going to take. And it was all like, even right now, that's the next thing we can talk about before we move on to ordinals. Even right now, it's a coin that is entirely based off of a guy saying, "Trust me, bro." And so far, it ended up working out in people's favor. People got what they wanted with the "Trust me, bro" guy. And now, I think another question I have for "Trust me, bro" is the amount that's been bridged over. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I forget how much it was. It was like $1 billion. Let's just say it's $1 billion. $1 billion of assets were bridged over to Pulse. Not bridged, sacrificed to Pulse. So if Pulse got $1 billion sacrificed altogether, and I don't know if that number's correct, the number's probably way off, but if it did, got $1 billion sacrificed altogether, from what I heard, I think that $1 billion, or the majority of that $1 billion, is rumored to be added to the liquidity for your stable coins, right? So people having the questions that I have right now of, how are these stable coins going to actually have value? If those $1 billion worth of sacrifice tokens are moved over to the stable coins, that would make sense. I'm curious as where's that money gonna go? What happened to that? Does anybody know what's gonna happen with that sacrifice money? I'm a little confused. Or is it supposed to be burned and part of the Pulsechain now? I don't know. That's where the value comes from. But I think that's another thing where it's like, trust me, bro, I got you. And you guys kind of have to trust Richard Hart. So those are my two main questions that I have about it. I talked about you guys. I'm giving you an unbiased opinion. Those are my two concerns. And I hear a lot of other hexicans and other people doing live streams talking about how they're really just giving each other high fives and pats on the backs, not really talking too much about the positives and or negatives of this thing. So I wanted to get into that. I don't know what you guys think about that. Kind of wish I could play too. Will the hex price on Ethereum recover, do you think? So the thing that I've been hearing about the hex price on Ethereum, let's open that up. So let's just open this and go to hex. I did buy some hex earlier, but I don't know if it's gonna recover, because what I heard, and this is the opposite of what I just said, is that your hex on Ethereum is E-hex, right? Ethereum hex. So right now we're looking at 35 cents for E hex, and your hex on Pulsechain is Pulse hex, P hex. Completely different thing. Sorry about my dog snoring back there. You guys are gonna have to deal with it. So Pulsechain hex is P hex. Let's find how much is P hex worth right now. Let's go down and find P hex. Okay, so I gotta kind of type some stuff in here right now. So if I wanted to trade Pulse for hex, I can trade one Pulse. No, let's do it this way. Pulse for die. If I want $1 worth of die, I need 10 Pulse. 10, about 11 Pulse. And if I have 10 Pulse and I trade that for hex, yeah, so I think it looks like hex is one hex is $1. One hex is $1. Is that right? Is one hex equal $1 on P hex? Sorry, my math skills are not that great, ladies and gentlemen. But the gist of it is they have different values, right? I guess I could do it this way too. Let's just do it this way. Let's do die, and we'll say that one hex. How much is one hex worth in die? Yeah, one hex is worth 10 die. That's not right. One times. I guess over here, yeah, P hex is worth $10 a piece. So that's the confusing part. I don't understand how these chains are connected really. So it's hard for me to say. I have no idea what the value of these things are going to be. Honestly, you can take a gamble and stock up on some hex, and maybe you're either going to win big or lose big with a lot of these. I think at this point, breaking even is just not something that's going to happen if you're buying coins and moving coins around. Yeah, so that's the one thing that I can't really tell you. I haven't been following Hex and Pulse enough to give you a good answer for that. The whimsy. Sorry, bro. If you bridged USDT to Pulsechain, it would be EUSDT, the official USDT. The copy would basically be PUSDT, which is worthless. Okay, so that's what I thought. That's option 2. Jackson, thank you for telling me, Jackson. So, essentially, based on what Jackson is saying, this is what happens. You bridge over your Ethereum, you bridge over your Ethereum USDT, EUSDT, and on the Pulsechain side, you're gonna get EUSDT, which is different than what you're seeing right here. All these pairs that you're seeing right here are. I figured all these pairs would be worthless, maybe except the ones that were like just created recently. But all of your copied pairs, I don't know. I wouldn't hold the copied pairs, to be honest. That's a big question mark. I think a strategy a lot of people are doing. A lot of people are just trading their copied pairs for the 4 tokens that I mentioned in the beginning: Pulsex, Hex, Incentive Token, and Pulse. Yeah, so that's, I mean, we don't have any value. We don't have any value in this chain. If that's the case, if we're looking at the E tokens having value in terms of being bridged over, there's no value here. And I think Richard Hart said that his latest tweet was basically that. Let's reload it, see if it's got anything new in here. He says, "I'm blocking so many people. You don't have well functioning real money markets for Pulse X, please, or any Pulse." Sorry, let me read that again. "I'm blocking so many people. You don't have well functioning real money markets for Pulse X, Pulse, or anything on Pulsechain yet. They take time to gather liquidity. Everything will be highly volatile for a while. People can't even find ways to shove money into their system. People can't even find ways to shove money into their system yet." Yeah. So let's read through some of these tweets here. Invaluable advice needs to be noted. Many big fat. Yeah, a lot of people are trying to get value out of these other tokens. Like, to be honest, if I were doing some trades, I wouldn't really mess around with USDT Row too much. I would mess around with the four that I mentioned earlier, and that's what I did. I did trade some Pulse for Pulsex and farm that. Let's see. Last 3 hours stream. People have no idea how liquidity works. Yeah, I guess people don't. Like, people have been asking me even, let me trade my coins. I wouldn't trade anything. If you're gonna trade anything on Pulse X, with the fact that these copied coins are worth nothing, if you're gonna trade anything on Pulse X, you can make a killing. You can make a lot of money if you do it right. But then you just lose 100% of everything if you do it wrong. So yeah, if you're gonna play ratio trading, as they call it, you can really scoop up some extra stuff if you do it at the right time. Yeah. So I think I covered everything I wanted to talk about with Pulse. Let's take a look at Ultrasound Mini. See if yeah, Ethereum's gas fees looks like they came down a little bit. Thank goodness. Meme coin season is kind of done. Meme coin season is over. I was just looking at Wojak earlier, down 18%. I don't think these meme coins are going to resurge again. One of my strategies with these meme coins is when you have a meme coin season, if this happens again, you guys have the strategy now. When you have a meme coin season, you have tons of meme coins pumping out of nowhere, pumping like crazy, and you ride that meme coin train. Or if you miss that meme coin train, and then they start dumping like crazy, they dump so much. A smart thing to do is find a couple of like really, really good ones, like your top 2 or 3, and then just buy in when they dump a lot, and like people are like, these meme coins are dead, because 9 times out of 10, when after the meme coin season is over and quote unquote dead the first time, they pump like crazy for at least one day. And that's what happened to Wojak and a few other ones. They went up like 200% over like a 24-hour period, and then they continued to dump and die. And I don't think that these meme coins are going to come back. I think that they're pretty much dead, maybe except Pepe might have a third resurgence, but even like let's go over to the most recent one. Elon Musk did the tweet of Milady's. Where's Milady's? Here, here's the Milady meme coin. This has had its, I think this is its second dump, so I wouldn't jump into this again. Maybe on the first dump I would have jumped into it. Yeah, the first dump was right here, so then people said Milady coin is dead. That's when you buy in. Then you have your next pump, and then you have your second dump, and yeah, I just really don't know. This is a useless coin. This coin is. We're not gonna talk about Milady coin, but yeah, that's just my advice on meme coin pumps. If you guys wanna get some meme coin pumping, and next time it happens, we can talk about ordinals too before we kind of sign off here. I have other things that I need to do. Take another sip of water. Read the chat. See what you guys are saying. What's up, Bluetooth? Do we know the price of Pulse X yet? No. I mean, we can make some speculation right now. Based on the ratio trading market, it says that Pulse is worth 9 cents, which doesn't seem right, doesn't it? Yeah, about 9 cents for one Pulse. And Pulse X is worth about the same. But like everyone's saying, and like Jackson said earlier, this is all P tokens, right? With the exception of Pulse, Pulse X, Hex, and Incentive, everything else is P tokens. And P tokens, they're gonna have a wonky value because they're copies, right? They're like the Pokemon Ditto, right? They're not the real thing. But when you have right now, we've had a lot of tokens being bridged over. Let me reload this, see if this is a little bit bigger. So this is where you're going to see. Can I reload this again? There we go. This is where you're going to see the value, and I would give it, honestly, I would give it like 3 days. 3 days before you start talking about what's the price of Hex, Pulse, Pulse X. I would give it 3 days, maybe 2 more days as of right now. because you have to get a lot of these coins bridged over, and then once these coins are bridged over, they have to actually pair liquidity, and then once they have liquidity, that's when they have actual value. Because that's the thing, guys, the liquidity for like Pulse paired with PUSDC is not going to matter, right? You can't do anything with that. But the liquidity paired with Pulse and EUSDC, once that happens, then you have a back and forth bridge for both assets. And that's where you're going to be able to actually trade your Pulse and your USDC back over to the Ethereum network and get real dollars for it, or trade it for real other Bitcoin or real Ethereum or real everything else, not copy stuff. So that's what you have to wait for. If you're asking the question of, wait, do the things have value, you'll know when they have value if you go over to, let's see here, it'll say on Pulse X. This is the Pulse X info, right? You can find it right here, info. You want to look for, let's see if it's in pools. Yeah, in pools here. These are all of your important pools. Your Pulse X, Wrap Pulse. You have, it looks like you have USDC Wrap Pulse, but I think this is PUSDC. You need to have EUSDC and Wrap Pulse. That's where it's going to have the actual, and once you see EUSDC Wrap Pulse, that's where the liquidity comes in. But honestly, Jackson told me that that's the way that it works. When you bridge over your USDC, it should say EUSDC or something different. So I think that this liquidity pool right here, this second liquidity pool, is not correct. I think it's an incorrect liquidity pool. The real one is not there yet. I'm fairly certain. I could be wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong about that. Because these are the main bridge things. You have your DAI. You have your, no, these aren't right. No. They can't be. So no. The short answer to your question is no. We don't have a price for it yet. Who is still on board with anything pegged to the dollar? You can you say bricks and gold? Yeah, the dollar's not looking real good right now. Usually when I'm messing around with crypto, I don't move out to the dollar unless I have to like really get it out to do something. I keep my crypto in crypto. That's just me. I'm a crypto maximalist. A lot of other people are not like that at all. They think that's an extremely risky strategy. USDT, Tether, USDC, now CBDC. Yeah, CBDC is another thing. Man, you don't want to get me started talking about the government and how they're handling crypto. I can be on that all day long. The SEC, I really do hope the SEC gets destroyed with what Coinbase is, with their Coinbase lawsuit and a few other things. I hope they get destroyed because they're doing a terrible job compared to every other country when it comes to regulating crypto. Bad approach. Circulating versus max supply on the low valuation. Pulse price prediction in a minute. Patience. Stack silver for the next swing if you can get your hands on some physical. Yeah, the US dollar's looking kind of weak. A lot of other assets out there that you can be excited about. But I'm honestly more excited about my crypto than my dollars in my bank. All right, I think that about covers it for the Hex talk, the Pulsechain talk. So we're gonna kind of wrap up here with my last topic of the day, which is the ordinals wallet. So ordinals, they're in an interesting position. If you guys have been following ordinals for a little bit, I know that NFTs are not everyone's things, and honestly, NFTs are super risky too, because you can have oversaturation happen so quickly, and then your NFTs are worth nothing. They're just worth nothing anymore. If there's too many NFTs out there. It happened in OpenSea, and it's going to probably happen with ordinals too. But because there's a small amount right now, flipping these things are a little bit easier. And I don't know, the way that I look at it is, if you are messing around with the ordinals marketplace, I would do your best to make sure that you have enough to flip to at least get your initial back, and do that. I think a lot of people, myself included, made the mistake with NFTs of I'm going to try and buy the next Bored Ape Yacht Club. I'm going to try and buy the next Crypto Kitties. I'm going to try and buy the next this. And when you do that, you just end up with a ton of bags that are completely worthless and no Bored Ape Yacht Club. So that's something that I'm going to be doing with these ordinals, and I'm going to make sure that I take profits, even if something does take off. Like, don't beat yourself up. Try to stack up enough as to where you can kind of hold on to one or two, and flip a couple for profit if you can do that. That's my strategy with these ordinals. So let's take a look. I'm not really messing around with BRC20s too much. I have a conflicting view about BRC20 tokens. These tokens they're just 4 letters, just 4-letter words. They don't do anything. And every video I've seen about people talking about ordinals, it's the same thing. It's like, well, what do these coins do? Like, I know that meme coins don't do anything, and they can go up a lot in value, but it worries me. Like, Ordy's the first BRC20, but what's the application? Is it just going to be another meme coin? Is it just going to be another Pepe that just dies, and you can't really do anything with it besides hold it? It's hard for me to convince myself that BRC20s are worth scooping up right now, even if they're being listed on exchanges. Like, what does your BRC20 token do? And I mean, NFTs are the same thing. With NFTs, at the very least, you have something to look at, right? You have a picture that can be considered quote unquote art. With BRC20s, you don't even have that. You just have a token that, I mean, nobody's come up with use cases for any of these tokens yet. There's theoretical use cases. It looks like Ordinals Wallet is crap in the bed right now. Let's look at collections. Collections seem to be working fine. So, some collections that, like, what I like to do with these ordinals is, let me go here. Ordinals. That's not working. Use my other keyboard. Ordinals. Oh man. Ordinals. I think it's ordinal sales _ sales. Man, where is it? What is this account? Ordinals sales bot. This one. I like to look at this and on Discord to see kind of what's happening on the ordinals marketplace with the collections, at least. And then it talks about BRC20s too. But if you kind of just scroll down here, you see, oh no, this bot is out of date. I have to go to Discord. Let's go to Discord. Switch, and we'll go to right here. In Discord, they have their little sales bot right here. I think this one's still running. They used to put pictures up, but they stopped doing pictures. And this gives you an idea of kind of what's happening in the ordinals marketplace without you having to click on all those different links. So we can kind of take a look at the different things here. Bit Amigos, NFT Sisters. And I kind of like to kind of just scroll and see what's being sold right here. You have more Bit Amigos, Ordinal Snake. So Bit Amigos was one that I really took a look at. I'm like, Bit Amigos is flying off the shelves. Pixel Pepe's is still doing pretty well. Bit Amigos, Ordinal Snakes. So, you can look at this and kind of see what's happening. So Ordinal Snakes is another one that you might want to check out. If you see a lot of movement, then that means there's potential to flip some of these bad boys. So let's go back to Ordinals Wallets. And here's your Bit Amigos, right? 1.75 Bitcoin worth of trading volume. And if I look at this, I mentioned this in my Patreon earlier. That was right before they dumped, unfortunately, but I did scoop up some more. So this is a token that it was like $5 2 days ago. Not a token, but this is an NFT that was like $5 2 days ago, and it jumped up to like $20, $30. So we were able to flip that for about a 3x profit. Now there's some downsides to such a cheap collection, like gas fees. Yeah, it looks like Ordinals Wallet is struggling to keep up with the demand. So it's not going to load for us right here, guys. It's going to give us a 404. But you can see the kind of the floor prices right there. You can do comparisons with the 7-day volume. It's really hard to find a new one that's doing well because anybody can launch these things. But yeah, looking at just kind of what's trending is what I'm scooping up. And if it's looking like it's dying, that's when I really, really want to scoop it up. And BitAmigos was sort of dying earlier today. It went down 50%, and I bought up a bunch of them. There's basically a guy that bought a bunch of these things at like $2 to $5, and he sold all of his ordinals at like $20. So he made a nice pretty penny. But it tanked the price. But you can see that it's recovered a lot. I think it was at 0.006, 0.004 even, and it's pumped a lot since then. It's gone back to where it was earlier. Clay Pepes is another one that I have a lot of. This one's kind of recovering too. Probably not a really good price point to jump in right now because it's back to its previous all-time high. Soy Pepes is another one that was really cheap earlier today. So yeah, ordinals, they have their ups and their downs. And your strategy, if you're going to jump in on these things, is scoop them up when they're down. Do that strategy of kind of looking at where, like, what's hot, then keep an eye on it for like a day or two. And then once that starts to die down, scoop them up. And then once they start to go up again, then you have your chance to sell your ordinals. That's my strategy. Alright, let's take a look at the chat. I'm going to sign off here in a second. Most manipulated as dollars in the bank. We laugh about it in 90 days. Take a deep breath. Book market, I told you. Bank run and done. Yeah. Yeah, bank run is sort of the extreme scenario. We've had a lot of bank runs, and honestly, the U.S. dollar is not looking. It's definitely not as powerful as it was 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago. It's like you have a lot of countries looking to kind of destroy it, and yeah, I'm not saying they're going to be extremely successful, but they're not going to completely fail either. I think that okay, let's keep reading. Richard posted the official contract address for the following bridged assets for Ethereum, DAI, USDC. The contract addresses are the main thing to consider. I'll take a look at that before I sign off. Silver lining for the next swing. This transition is moving fast enough. Regulations and legislation, the state battle it out on CBDC. Yeah, I mean that is sort of the thing that I'm waiting for the next year or 2 years. Is like figure out your stuff. Figure out what you're gonna do, government, for regulations. All right. All right. Let's see. I want to look at see if I can find the Richard Hart tweet, and then we're gonna be done for the night, for the day, or for whatever time it is for you. For me, it's 3 a.m. and I have to work tomorrow, in like 4 hours. Go back to Richard Hart. There he is. Bridges and exchanges have a great opportunity in Pulsechain. There's already 19 million sitting at the bridge contracts. People are getting very hungry. I think I opened this already. We already looked at this. Yeah, this is the contract address. Yeah, we were looking at this earlier, right here. Yeah, I'm gonna do some more digging a little bit later. Oh, here it is. These are the contract addresses for Ethereum tokens bridged from Pulsechain to Pulsechain. Add the token contracts to your wallet if you want to show this in your wallet. Here's WETH DAI. Okay, let's try this out. Let's see if we can do this. Because, like he said, Jackson said, these are important if you're looking at Pulsechain. You don't want to sell your pulse for copy USDC. You want to sell your pulse for real USDC. So let's go and see if we can go to trade. Say trade pulse for real USDC. Yeah, here it is. This is, and it says right here, USD coin from Ethereum. All right. So this is the actual value of Pulse once they add liquidity to this token. So if I put one, there's probably no liquidity here. Yeah, so there's no liquidity here if I'm gonna do 10 Pulsechain. Price it back too high. But yeah, once liquidity is added with that USDC, that's where the big bucks are gonna come in. Yeah, baby. So yeah, there's a lot of things you should bookmark. You should probably bookmark this tweet right here. USDC, USDT. There's Hex. DAI is another important one. This should say DAI bridge from Ethereum when I paste this address in. Paste import. DAI stablecoin from Ethereum, right? And none of these are gonna have any value because nobody. Oh look, DAI actually has some value. DAI actually has some value. That's nice. So this is the more realistic number that I was thinking of. So let's see. $1 worth of DAI is worth about 9,000 pulse. 9,000 pulse for one DAI. I think that's more realistic to the sacrifice ratio. So you can divide. Let me see what the value of this is. So 211, 795. But I think those numbers are still going to change quite a bit. And I divide that by 9,000. Then yeah, so this makes more sense. So the value of my pulse is about $23,000, which is pretty close to what I put in. I put in about 10K from when I did the sacrifice. Now that's where price discovery comes in. Man, I wish I would have saw that at the beginning of this video. Price discovery right there. There's your pulse price. One DAI gives you 9,000 pulse. Yeah, Jackson's the man, the pulse expert. You should be running this live stream, bro. I am in Cali. That is correct. And man, I gotta sign off here because I gotta work tomorrow and I gotta get ready for it. Or I shouldn't say tomorrow, I should say in a few hours. Already motion history being made. 2025, the music will finally stop. And it's 5:50 a.m. here in Chicagoland. Chicagoland. Chicago's a place I haven't been to before. I actually did a world trip. I have another YouTube channel that I'm trying to grow. And I'm trying to do it without mentioning this YouTube channel at all. I'm trying to do it organically. But that YouTube channel is about travel and my world trip that I did. So I went to 19 countries and I did a bunch of places in the U.S. Chicago is not a place that I've been to yet. No. Went to Colorado. Not Chicago, though. Alright, Gerald, I'll see you later. I'm going to sign off too here. Wojak, etc. meme coins may pump again in the post-halving bull run. Maybe. Yeah, so Whimsy, I'll end with this. I'll end with your point. So if anybody says anything after Whimsy, I'm going to leave. Sorry. But with the meme coins, I do think that some of them have a chance of coming back, right? Some meme coins, they just don't die, right? They stay around for a long time, and they might have another resurgence if Elon Musk mentions them, or if they just have growth in general, or if there's just another meme coin phase. These things can grow. So, like, you have Dogecoin, you have Shiba Inu. These coins have not died, even though people have said they're going to die. And then now you have Pepe, and Pepe is another coin. I think Pepe is going to be around. I don't think Pepe is going to expire. I think Pepe is the most likely one to have another massive short-term pump, and it can bring your side meme coins along with it, like your Wojaks and your etceteras. But I will say this: I think that the majority of your meme coins will be dead. The majority of them. But you might get lucky. I think and you just got to be careful. You can get lucky and have a meme coin that really, really pumps, like the Milady coin, for example. It goes up, 10,000x, but it's so incredibly rare. I wouldn't bet on it. And that's why I think it's a little dangerous. Not dangerous. People can do whatever they want, but there's a lot of people on Twitter saying look at this guy who got really lucky buying these meme coins. Follow this guy. He's smart. It's like they're not smart. They're just incredibly lucky. They just got really, really lucky. If somebody turned $10 into like $2 million, they just got very, very lucky. There's no brains involved in any of that. There's no strategy. Don't let people tell you that there's a strategy to getting lucky with meme coins. I mean, here's the thing. There is a strategy. You can get extremely lucky with meme coins. But in order to enact that strategy, you have to have like $8 million that you're willing to throw around. If you have $8 million, you can buy every meme coin that comes out the second it comes out. And there's an easy way to do that. And during the next bull run, you can get turned $10 to $2 million. You just gotta spend $8 million buying thousands of meme coins that surge up, that pop up. What did I want to do? I wanted to bring up new coins, new cryptocurrencies. I mean, we can look at this and just look at all the meme coins. Look at all these meme. I haven't even looked at this earlier, but I bet you these are all meme coins. Beer, that's probably a meme coin. Astro Pepe, there's another meme coin. Turbos Finance, that's a meme. Me Gusta, there's another meme coin. Like, what are the chances? You gotta buy so many of these things to get lucky. Pepe XL, Pulse AI, Pepe Lay. I mean, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny scrolling through these. But yeah, some people do that. Some people. I mean, I'm not gonna knock it. If you're good at that, man, I gotta follow you. I gotta figure out what you do. But I feel like you just need to get super lucky if you're throwing in $1 here and $1 there on these meme coins. Because let's be honest, the only meme coins that have done well, like really well, have been the meme coins on Ethereum. And if you're putting in $2 or $3 on a meme coin in Ethereum, you're paying $10 to $15 in gas fee for every single coin. That adds up. That adds up a lot. Alright guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. If you're not a Patreon, consider becoming a Patreon to get access to all of my videos besides live streams up to 2 to 3 days early. Not usually, it's a couple hours early. And yeah, we'll keep talking about Pulse when we get some more price discovery. Shoutouts to Jackson for giving me some helpful information for this live stream. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Peace.